The Office of Student Life, or OSL, is the housing for student organizations. They work to ensure that students have a variety of campus involvement, including a commitment to lifelong learning and community leadership that significantly and positively changes the student.
Stop by the Office of Student Life anytime. You may see our director, Lisa Tetzloff, who oversees the office. Stephanie Capone advises the student ambassadors and is responsible for service programs and senior celebration programs. John Landrum is the coordinator for student orgs in OFO. He also advises SUFAC and is responsible for Family Weekend. Grant Winslow works with Good Times programming and outdoor programs. He also writes contracts for student orgs. He's the only person who should sign those contracts. If you're thinking about bringing a performer to campus, fill out a pre-contract worksheet, which you can find on the Student Life website, 5 weeks before a performance, and set up a meeting with Grant. The Organization Finance Officer, or OFO, is Lee Trotman. OFO is where you go to begin spending money and arranging travel. There'll be more about OFO later.
Adam Novotny works with GB Nights, GB Week, Bingo Nights, and other late-night programs. Our program assistant is Tina Techmeyer, and she can serve as a good resource for you. She usually knows a lot about orgs and OFO as well.
What are the benefits of being a student org, you may ask? I can tell you that there are many, but here are a few. When a group becomes an org, they have rights to storage space. Org leaders will find lateral file drawers in the org suite and can go to OSL to receive your key.
Space is limited. See the Forms section on the Student Life webpage to check availability and to sign up for a drawer.
They will be filled on a first-come, first-served basis. A registered org also has the benefit of org email accounts and web space. This can help immensely when communicating on campus.
The email account will also serve as your digital mailbox. OFO will scan receipts and send them to your SO account. If your org does receive physical mail, you will receive an email notification to stop by the OFO office to pick it up.
You also receive the benefit of reserving spaces throughout the university. Reservations is located at the University Ticketing and Information Center. You can receive not only rooms, but multimedia devices that serve your needs and banner space to promote events. This is of great benefit to your org because the fee for reserving is waived. Please remember, if you are putting up banners, to add the disability statement, which is as follows. If you have a disability and would like to discuss accommodations, contact Student Life at 465-2720. This can be found on our webpage or on the stamps in the banner room. Student Life will help students with his or her needs. The orgs do not need to worry about this. Simply add the disability statement. The OFO office is located in the Office of Student Life. OFO can do many things for you. One of the things it can do is give you a copy code if your org has allocated funds from SUFAC for copying or duplicating or agency funds. This will allow your org to make copies at the copier in the Office of Student Life. To be cost-effective, we suggest you only do this if you have less than 20 copies to be made. If not, go to OFO in advance to use the duplicating service. OFO can set up large orders with Digicopy to be picked up in their office at a later date. They can also help you create bulk mailings and send out your org's mail and help you with faxing things. Along with that, they can help you get discounted office supplies. They have a very large catalog of products and would be happy to find what you are looking for.
OFO will also help you create food orders with Avians. Remember, there's a student org catering guide with some discounted rates. You can get travel packets online from the My Orgs portal in the Forms section. These forms need to be filled out and brought to OFO at least 4 weeks before your org plans on traveling. Make sure you follow the instructions on the form. And also remember that drivers need to be reauthorized every September, after September the 1st, and it is never a bad idea to have more drivers authorized than necessary. You may need them at some later point in the year anyway.
Another thing to remember is contracts can't be signed by anyone other than Grant, so please don't take one to OFO expecting them to sign. Go to the Student Life webpage and fill out a pre-contract worksheet 5 weeks in advance and meet with Grant. When you are sending in a travel request to SUFAC, please see the guidelines. These guidelines ask that these requests are submitted with a specific amount of time available to be looked over, so make sure you are giving yourself enough time and get it done as best you can. If you have questions or concerns about the process, contact SUFAC and they can answer any questions you may have about writing it.
One of the 2 ways you can get catering on campus would be from Avians using their catering menu. You can order this food by coming to the OFO office.
Do not go to Avians themselves. That would not be correct protocol. Another option for buying food for an event would be to go to the corner store. When going to the corner store, the rules are as follows. You can only buy $50 of non-perishable food per day. Again, only $50 per day of non-perishable food per day. Then bring your receipts to OFO for reimbursement. There are many policies to follow regarding food. To understand the food policies better, Please go to the union's website and search for the non-standard food event authorization policy. This is a very long but meaningful document that will explain a lot of information to your organization. Please remember you can bring in $50 of non-perishable food items or pick them up at the corner store, but you are not allowed to simply call a local pizza place and order in pizza regardless of where the funds are coming from as a student org. All student orgs must submit a non-standard food event authorization form to the union, and it will most likely not be approved, forcing you to go through OFO to order through Avians. Another thing to remember is what is on campus. All buildings are on campus except the Widener Center and the Mothie Center. Everything else, including housing, the Lambeau Cottage, and academic buildings, are on campus. If you have any questions regarding the food policies, please stop by OSL.
Fundraising and soliciting are two great ways for your organization to raise money. Please keep in mind that these activities must be approved by Student Life 2 weeks prior to the event. The forms can be found at the link on screen. When soliciting, remember to ask for items your org may need instead of asking for cash or gift cards.
Some important advice. Tell OFO what you are doing. They can help you in ways you couldn't even imagine. They know the ins and outs of orgs and will be able to answer any question you may have. Another piece of advice would be to let OFO know you are spending money 4 to 5 weeks in advance. That way they can work with you to ensure everything is done correctly. Also make sure to keep all receipts, especially if you plan on being reimbursed for a purchase you have made. OFO cannot reimburse you if there is no receipts, so please save them all.
There are two different kinds of funds, agency and SUFAC. Agency funds are funds that the org have collected. These could have come from fundraisers such as bake sales, candy sales, car washes, or dues. These accounts have much more flexibility, and orgs can buy almost anything except alcohol, firearms, and tobacco. SUFAC funds come from the segregated fees that student government has allocated from a budget. These funds are much more restricted in regards to spending. Certain dollar amounts are allocated to different places and can only be changed by submitting a reallocation request form to SUFAC. There are many rules to this money, such as you cannot buy food unless the money has already been allocated to that particular event.
Budget training happens every year in mid-October to teach you how to write a budget. Next year's dates are listed on the screen. Please attend one of those meetings and learn as much as you can. After you attend, you will be set to write your budget. Budgets will be due sometime in November. You should watch your SO accounts for emails regarding the deadline for submissions. The deadline is firm, so make sure your budget is turned in on time. If you wait and your budget is late, you may have to wait until next year to submit contingencies to see if you get the money you were hoping for. It is a definite disadvantage to you.
Promoting your org can be easy when using these tools. One of the biggest ways to get members would be to get a booth at OrgSmorg. This event takes place in both fall and spring semesters. Next year's dates are listed on the screen. Remember, only registered orgs can register, so please make sure this is done in advance. There is also a campus-wide email that is sent out every Friday during the fall and spring semesters. Students will receive an email with the link to Student Life's event calendar. You can submit your organization's event by going under the Events tab on the Student Life webpage, clicking Submit an Event, and filling out the form.
Organizations can also put posters up throughout campus. Be sure to create 97 posters. 70 can go to Residence Life, and the rest can be posted throughout campus. Check out the poster locations page in the Student Org Toolkit on the Student Life web pages for more information about this. And by the way, if your posters are in color, order at least 101 copies, and it will save you money because there is a price break at 101 copies.
Banners can also be created and posted. To do this, simply make the poster in the banner room is a great place to do so, and call reservations to reserve a banner space somewhere on campus. Another thing that reservations can do for you is book a booth space. At a booth, you can promote your event by having giveaways, posting banners, or sitting and talking about your events. Mailings are also a way to promote your org. Please stop by OFO to make plans to do so. They can save you money on postage and will make sure the mailing is done successfully. University Communications is also a prospect for free advertisement. Contact them to see if they would like to do a story on your org. The Fourth Estate also has advertisement spaces for sale. You can buy an ad space for $200. It would be a black and white half-sheet size. They also write articles about student org events, helping to create a buzz about your program. Contact the 4E office 3 to 4 weeks beforehand to ensure your ad is seen. Organizations can also promote themselves by getting on the table tents. The table tents are set out in the Garden Cafe, the Phoenix Club, and the Cloud Commons. You can find the table tent forms by searching table tent in the UWGB search bar. If you would like to create your own table tent, you need to contact the dining chair of SGA to get them approved. If they are not approved, they will be taken down. Another way to promote your org or event would be to write it on the school chalkboards. It is a free way to promote. However, anyone has the right to erase your message, so beware. Another thing to do would be to sidewalk chalk. Putting your event on the sidewalks throughout campus is a great way to promote your org and is relatively easy. Please remember not to write on buildings or in anything other than the sidewalk. All of these are great ways to promote, but the best way to promote your org would be word of mouth. When people are buzzing about your org, then people will come to your events. Just start talking about it. There are many resources for registered student orgs. You have the opportunity to work in the banner room. The banner room is a place for student orgs to create banners, posters, and other things. There are many different supplies, including an Ellison machine. This machine is used to cut out different shapes of paper by simply punching them out. There are many different designs and many places to use them. Use this room as you like, but remember to keep it clean.
The org suite also has many things for orgs to use. There are computers to keep your org running, as well as a printer for you to print org materials on. To use these printers and accounts, sign in with your student org SO account address, and that will get you in to your email as well as printing. If you are unsure what your SO account address or passwords are, please contact John Landrum and he would be happy to help you. John sends out an email almost once a week containing the official communication from Student Life to your org. It will go to your SO account. You may set up your SO account to forward this email to your personal account for convenience. Either way, be sure to check for emails from John at least once a week.
The UTIC, or University Ticketing and Information Center, can also help you with many things. If your org has reserved a room and something is not set up properly, or it is not working, contact them and they will try to help you as best they can. They can also help you to approve posters you may want to put up throughout the union. However, they can only take 4.
Now that you have watched this video, please have 2 fund officers take the org orientation quiz. You will need to get at least a 12 out of 13 to pass. If you do not pass, the quiz will allow you to retake the questions you missed. Please check on your organization information page in My Orgs. You will see the registration steps itemized and a note as to whether each step is completed. Please take care of completing each step. After all steps are completed, your org registration will be marked approved by Student Life within a day or so. Thank you for watching this video.